Right, good evening, folks. Sorry for the total and utter mess up earlier. I'd like to say it was down to computer error or internet error, something. Unfortunately, it was my error. But anyway, we're here now. We're going to get going in about 5 minutes. Obviously, we've got a new link, so just wait for a few others to get on board with it. I might just go get myself a beer, actually, if everyone else wants to grab a beer. Mark Mitchell, if you can hear me, do you want to drop us a quick message on there? Just to let me know that you can hear okay. Gonna go grab myself a beer and then we'll come back and we'll see how we get going. Right, well, I'm back now. See what's going on. Got my beer, got my retro shirt on. Ah, good stuff. I'm glad you, Sean, can see it. That's good. We'll just give it a few more minutes because, like I say, I've had to change the link because I messed up completely, unfortunately. But we got there in the end. It's all just a bit of fun. We'll have a bit of a giggle. Got a message there from Mark Mitchell. That's good. I did say we'd start at 7, so we'll give it a few minutes. Got people coming in now. That's nice to see. Those just joining, apologies again for the mess up with the link. Completely my error. Messed up completely. But it's the first time I've done it, so who knows where we'll go with it. One thing you might find is that the internet's been a bit of a nightmare the last few days. So if the image is a bit jumpy, I apologise for that. Hopefully the volume will come across quite well, and I have put all the questions on the screen anyway, so you'll be able to see the questions if you can't hear me. So that's the most important thing. At least you'll be able to see that. Couple of minutes before 7, so we'll just hold on a sec. Hope you've all got a drink. I've got a little tipple of Timothy Taylor, Landlord, tonight, just to see me through. I've tried to do this without my glasses so you don't get any shine, but absolutely no chance. Old age catching up with me. Hopefully everyone can hear all right. If you can hear all right, you just give us a little bit of a comment in the comments bit, just to let me know that you can hear okay. That'd be good. So as you can see on the screen now, we've got 6 rounds. What we'll do 3 rounds, then we'll go through the answers, and then we'll go through the next 3 rounds, and then we'll do the answers to those next 3 as well. There is a tie-break question in case you're doing it against each other in your families, or I was going to say, or in the pubs and clubs, but not a chance of that, is there? So there is a tie-break question at the end anyway, if you need it. The rounds, as you can obviously see on there, first few questions are going to be CAS international players. Then we're going to go into questions just purely about the Super League era. And then we've got a picture ground, a few pictures of grounds that Cas have played in over the years. Then we'll go through the answers of those three. And then what we're going to go through is around just regarding the current squad. Then we're going to have a round regarding the 1986 Challenge Cup win. Reason why we've done this today, 3rd of May 1986, 3rd of May to 2020, anniversary of our cup win. So I thought we'd do a round purely on the 1986 cup run. I think, reading by my Twitter, there might be a few people on that round that will do particularly well. We might even have one of the answers online tonight, which will be good. Hopefully he gets that. And then the final one is going to be a picture round of former Castleford players. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of some Castleford players. You just got to guess who those people are. So I'm just going to give it another minute, and then we'll get cracking. What I'm going to try and do as well is in between each round, I'm going to change my shirt. We're going to go through the years. This is retrojungle.com. It's the one that's got my name on it, with the one of them when you got a season ticket, you got your name put on the shirt. So this is one of my favourites. So, like I say, another minute or two, and then we'll get cracking. Most important bit. Got the chat coming in, which is nice. Lee Manifield, good to see you, mate. He's put looking good, mate. He must have a faulty webcam. Anyway, you're a Huddersfield fan. Hope you don't win this one. So this is good. It looks like we've got 20 odd people online, which is good. It's the first time I've ever done it. Like I say, a bit of fun. Hopefully it goes all right for everybody, and we just have a bit of fun. That's what it's all about. I have looked at all the answers over and over and over again, so I think they're all mistake-free. If I have made a mistake, so what? Let's not worry about it. You can mark your own papers. You decide who gets a point for what and what have you. But I thought if we do it 2 points for each question, then that gives you a bit of leeway. Either way, you might give a point if somebody gets the first name and not the second name or what have you. So I think we are now just gone 7 o'clock. So we'll get straight into it, and we're going to start with the first round, which is all about Castleford international players. Okay. So we'll just set that up. Hopefully you can all see that one. Okay. And I'm going to go straight into question 1. Just going to do something on here to make sure I can see what's going on. Like I say, it's the first time I've done this, so God knows what's going to happen. But anyway, right, question number 1 is, who was the only Castleford player in the Great Britain squad when we beat Australia in the 3rd test in Sydney in 1988? 1988, 3rd test in Sydney. I know there's somebody online tonight who was there. It was the only Castleford player in that team. What a night that was. Well, morning, should I say, for us in the UK. Okay, right, we're going to move on to question number 2. And that is, which current Castleford player made his debut for England against France in October 2018? Which current Castleford player made his debut for England against France in October 2018? Your thinking caps on for that one. Question number 3. Which Australian international fullback played for Castleford in the 1988-89 season after joining the club from Canberra Raiders? Absolutely brilliant player. Loved watching him. Had a stormer in the Yorkshire Cup final against Bradford, I think it was. I may be wrong, but I think it was that. Brilliant player. Question 3. Like I say, if anybody is struggling to hear or anything like that, just drop us a note in the comments, which is a bit ridiculous because if you can't hear me saying if you can't hear, but you know what I mean. If you're having trouble with stuff, just drop a thing in the comments and I'll do what I need to do for you. Question number 4. This former Castleford Tigers player made his debut for France in October 2015. Who is he? Oh, look, the question says, who is he? Not sure why it says that, but anyway, who is he? Made his debut for France in October 2015. Who is he? Okie, right. Moving on to question 5. Which New Zealand international played a standoff for Castleford in the 1994 Regal Trophy final win? Which New Zealand international played at standoff for Castleford in the 1994 Regal Trophy win? Okay, got a message there from Lee saying freezing a little, so I'll continue to the end of question 10, and then I'll reread them all just to make sure everybody's got them. I'm hoping you can see them on the screen as well, but if not, then there's obviously something wrong with the computer, not me. Right, question number 6, the great Malcolm Reilly. How many Great Britain caps did Malcolm Reilly get? How many Great Britain caps did Malcolm Reilly get? Right, question number 7 is, which international team did Ryan McGoldrick represent in 2007? Which international team did Ryan McGoldrick represent in 2007? Dirty sod he was. Oh, thanks, Kate. Kate's just letting you know she can see the questions. Thank you for letting me know that. There's obviously something wrong my end. Don't know what's going on, but anyway, at least you can see them. That's good. All right, question number 8. Might be a little bit of a toughie, but here we go. Question number 8. Which former Red Hill amateur fullback? Start again. Which former Red Hill amateur fullback won 3 caps for Scotland between 1998 and 2001? One of my favourites, this guy. Always played above his weight, I thought. Cracking player. Which former Red Hill amateur fullback won 3 caps for Scotland between 1998 and 2001? Okay, question number 9. This player represented Great Britain 12 times between 1964 and 1971, scoring 9 tries as a standoff. Who is he? Catering for some of the older ones there, thankfully. Not like me. Young whippersnapper. So if anybody else just joined, just to let you know, we're going to do these 10, then we're going to do the next 10, which is on the Super League era. Then we're going to do a picture round on stadiums that Cas have played in. We'll then do the answers of those 3 rounds. Have a little bit of a break, go grab a beer, have a wee, do what you're going to do, and then we'll do the next 3 rounds. And then finally, question number 10 is, representing New Zealand and Samoa, which player left Castleford Tigers at the end of the 2019 season? Representing New Zealand and Samoa, which player left Castleford Tigers at the end of the 2019 season? Okay, I'm just going to quickly run through everyone again very, very quickly. Number 1, who was the only Castleford player in the Great Britain squad when we beat Australia in the 3rd Test in Sydney in 1988? Number 2 was which current Castleford player made his debut for England against France in October 2018? Number 3, which Australian international fullback played for Castleford in the 1988-89 season after joining the club from Canberra Raiders? Number 4, this former Castleford Tigers player made his debut for France in October 2015. Who is he? Number 5, which New Zealand international played at standoff for Castleford in the 1994 Eagle Trophy final? Number 6, how many Great Britain caps did Malcolm Reilly get? Number 7, which international team did Ra McGoldrick represent in 2007? Number 8, which former Red Hill amateur fullback won 3 caps for Scotland between 1998 and 2001? Number 9, represented Great Britain 12 times between 1964 and 1971, scoring 9 tries as a standoff. Who is he? And number 10, representing New Zealand and Samoa, which player left Castleford Tigers at the end of the 2019 season? Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to go into the Super League era. So all the next 10 questions are purely related to the Super League era. I hope these questions are coming up okay, like I say. And we'll go straight into question number 1 on the Super League era. Who was Castleford's first ever fixture in Super League against? Who was Castleford's first ever fixture in Super League against? And we lost. Never mind. So, moving on to question number 2. And in that game, who was the Castleford coach at the time? Who was the Castleford coach at the time, first game of Super League? I've just realised I've not changed my shirt. I said I'd change my shirt each round. Hold on. Here we go. Worst shirt in history, this one. Absolutely horrible. Yeah, so I've changed my shirt for you. Absolutely horrible, this one. I don't know why we brought it out and gone as well. I bought the damn thing. But anyway, we did. Question number 3. What was the official stadium name between 2010 and 2012? The official stadium name, as in the Castleford Stadium, of course. What was the official name between 2010 and 2012? Topping up with a bit of Timothy Taylor's. Can't go wrong. Lee Manifield says not us. Who did you play first game then, Lee? In Super League? Huddersfield supporter. Come on. Next question. Number 4. 6 players have scored 5 tries in a game for Castleford, but only 1 has accomplished it during the Super League era. Who is it? Who's the only person who scored 5 tries for Cas during the Super League era? Okay, got that. 6 players scored 5 tries for Cas in a game for Cas, but only 1 has accomplished it during the Super League era. Who was it? And question number 5. 3 players have scored 24 points in a game during the Super League era. Luke Gale is one of them. Name either of the other 2. So 3 players have scored 24 points in a game during the Super League era. Luke Gale is one of them. Dirty leagues. Name either of the other 2. I really don't know what I'm doing here, so hopefully it's coming across all right. But anyway, I'm having fun if no one else is. All right, question number 6 is, which coach took over from Stuart Raper in 2001? Which coach took over from Stuart Raper in 2001? looks like we've got about 38 people on, which is quite good. A bit of fun. Considering I completely messed up with the link as well. So anyway, never mind. We'll know for next time if we do one. Right, question number 7. In 2009, the Magic Weekend was held in Edinburgh, where Cas lost 24-16. Who beat us? Them. Who did we lose to? 2009 in Edinburgh. I was there. Funnily enough, it was cold. Remember Kirk Dixon scored. Either Kirk Dixon scored a brilliant try, or he set up a brilliant try, but the ball was just about to go over and he launched it back and we touched down. Can't remember if he scored it or actually made it, but it was a cracking try. Okay, question number 8. Name either of the try scorers when Cas defeated Wigan in the first ever game at the AJB Stadium in 1999. Now, what a game that was. I was at work in Birmingham during the day. Told him I didn't feel well, so I had to leave early. Drove up for it. What an amazing atmosphere that was. Question number 9. Seems like an eternity away, does this? How many games have Cas won this season in Super League? Couldn't have come as a worse time. We had a brilliant win against Saints. Playing some great football again. But how many games have Cas won this season in Super League? And finally on Super League, question number 10. We first played this team in June 1996 and only played them another 3 times in the Super League era. Who are they? First played this team in June 1996, only played them another 3 times in the Super League era. Who are they? So I'm going to run through those again really, really quickly, and then we're going to do a picture round, which hopefully will show up. So number 1 was, who was Castleford's first ever fixture in Super League against? Question 2 was, who was the coach at the time? Question 3, what was the official stadium name between 2010 and 2012? Number 4, 6 players have scored 5 tries in a game for Cas, but only 1 has accomplished it during the Super League era. Who is it? Number 5, 3 players have scored 24 points in a game during the Super League era. Luke Gale is one of them. Name either of the other 2. Question number 6, which coach took over from Stuart Raper in 2001? Number 7, in 2009, the Magic Weekend was held in Edinburgh, where Cas lost 24-16. Who beat them? Number 8, name either of the try scorers when Cas defeated Wigan in the first ever game at the JJB Stadium in 1999. What a game. Number 9, how many games have Cas won this season in Super League? And finally, question 10, we first played this team in June 1996 and only played them another 3 times in the Super League era. Who are they? Right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show, we're going to do a picture round, okay, and these are all going to be pictures of grounds that Castleford have played at during Super League or actually pre-Super League as well, some of them as well, but they're all grounds that Castleford have actually played at. So if you just give me 2 seconds, I shall just get that up and running, and we'll... He says, knowing exactly what he's doing, honestly. I do know what I'm doing, I promise you. Here we go, hopefully that's it. There we go. Get to there. Do that. I'm getting there, don't worry. I'm sorry, I'm totally rubbish. I'm actually in IT as well. I'm supposed to be able to know how to do all this sort of stuff, but I can't. Here we go. Hopefully, if you can please let me know if you can see that one. Please just give us a shout. Let me know that you can see it. If you can see it, then we'll just leave that there for a second. Just been told to change my shirt as well. Thank you very much for letting me know. Sorted that one. Hopefully you can see that picture. If you all good, yeah, you can see the picture. Brilliant. Okay, so that's question number 1. Like I say, all these are grounds that Castleford have played at. Okay, and not necessarily Super League era. Sorry if I misled you a little bit there. They are all grounds that Castleford have played at some point. So that's the first one. There's the second one. There's a bit of a clue in this one, I think. See the difference in stadias in a minute between the modern and the, let's say, not so modern. Question 3, which is that stadium. Change my shirt as well, so when that comes back you'll be able to see what ridiculous shirt I've got on. We had some absolute rotten shirts throughout the years. Bought every one of them. Never mind. Question 3. Okay, question number 4. Boo! Boo! Should be able to get that one. I was going to say for the older folk, but not necessarily that. Really, not too far away. Number 5. There we go. Cracking ground is absolutely. Didn't see us win much there, I'll be perfectly honest with you. A great ground. I remember my dad when we used to drive up to this one, and the directions would be just keep going up, and you finally get to it. It wasn't far wrong, to be honest. Right, question number 6 on grounds. Question number 6, there you go. Now it's up to you what you want to put as your answer, like the team that played there or city or whatever, but you're marking your own paper, so I don't really care what you like. But I mean, as long as you're fair. All right, number 7. Is that one? At first glance, it looks a bit like Norton Park, Widnes, but you have to look carefully. Okay, question number 8. Another modern ground. Mind you, we can't really talk, can we? We don't get into discussion about grounds. No, sir. There's probably a few clues if you look really carefully in that picture. Question number 9. Might be a tough one for some people, but good proper rugby league ground, this one. Okay, and then finally, question number 10. So I'm just going to quickly go back to through those again. Right, so number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and question number 10. Okay, right. So, change my shirt, that ridiculous one, look. Clear Sports, nasal strips. Got this one back on board. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through the answers of the first 3 rounds. So you can get ready to mark them. Just need to set this up and running again. I'm sure I know what I'm doing. That one there. Put that on there. So hopefully you've all had a good go at them. I'm going to go through the answers of the first 3 rounds. Then we'll have what's Lee put in here? You were lucky if your car weren't on bricks at number 8. Not far wrong. £5 to look after your car, mister. Yeah, not far wrong there, mate, to be honest. Right, so we're going to go through the answers. Hopefully some of you scored well on these. So we're going to go back to internationals. And the only Castleford player in the Great Britain squad was Super Kevin Ward. My all-time favourite players, Kev. Brilliant, brilliant player. Question number 2. The current Castleford player made his debut for England against France in October was Adam Milner. The Australian international fullback who played for Cas in the 88-89 season, joining the club from Canberra Raiders, was a fantastic Gary Belcher. Probably the best Tash in rugby league ever, if I'm honest. What a player. Question number 4. The former Castleford Tigers player made his debut for France in October 2015 is the great Gadwin Springer. The legend that is Gadwin Springer. Got somebody just saying hello who might do well in one of the rounds. Nice to see you, Gary. Thanks for coming on. Question number 5 was Tony Kemp, the New Zealand international standoff, who played for Cas in the 1994 Cup win. How many caps did Malcolm Reilly get for Great Britain? He got 9. Malcolm Reilly got 9 caps for Great Britain. Number 7, which international team did the Australian Ryan McGoldrick represent in 2007? He did well to make it, but he managed to represent the USA. Yes, he got selected for the USA. Fair play to him. Number 8, this might have been a tough one, I don't know, but the former Red Hill amateur fullback that won 3 caps for Scotland between 1998 and 2001 was Jason Flowers. Really like Jason Flowers, a player. I thought he was brilliant. Question number 9 was represented Great Britain 12 times between 64 and 71, scored 9 tries as a standoff. If my dad's watching, he better get this one. That is Alan Hardesty. And finally, question 10, representing New Zealand and Samoa, which player left Castleford Tigers at the end of 29? Super Benny Roberts. Okay, so top those ones up. See how many you scored in there. Like I say, give yourself a couple of points for each correct answer. If you got a bit of it right, give yourself a point. If you didn't get anything right, then sorry, 0. Right, on to the answers for Super League era. So who did Castleford play in their first ever Super League fixture? It was the Bradford Bulls. Played away, I think they lost about 34-16 or something like that. It was cold, anyway. And who was the coach at the time? Super JJ, John Joyner. Probably a better player than a coach, I think it's fair to say, which is a shame. Absolute legend. Number 3, the official stadium name between 2010 and 2012 was the ProBiz Coliseum. The heady days of ProBiz. What a time to be alive that was. Right, number 4. 6 players have scored 5 tries in a game for Cas, but only 1 has accomplished it during the Super League era. It was Greg Eden. Question number 5. 3 players have scored 24 points in a game. Luke Gale was one of them. You could have had either Kirk Dixon or Jamie Ellis. Number 6, who took over from Stuart Raper in 2001? It was Graham Steadman. Number 7, 2009, the Magic Weekend held in Edinburgh, where Cas were beaten 24-16. They were beaten by Hull FC. Number 8, going back to that fantastic evening at Wigan, their first ever game at the JJB Stadium where we beat them. Asked you to name either of the try scorers, and you could have had either Michael Eager or Adrian Vowles. Number 9, how many games have Cas won in the Super League this season? It is 5. Number 10, we first played this team in June 1996 and only played them another 3 times in the Super League era. Who are they? It is Paris Saint-Germain. And I have to say that while I was doing some of these research for these questions, I went into Diane Howard's YouTube page, found the link to this game, and right at the very end when they're interviewing Lee Crooks and John Joyner, there's a 24-year-old with his scarf up like this. Obviously had a few too many of the French beers. Yeah, that was me. All good fun. So it was great to see myself as a young lad. Showed they were really, really proud, as you can imagine. And finally, if we go on to the question, I'll put all the answers together on these ones for the stadiums. And they are, as you see, Murrayfield is Edinburgh, Anfield in Liverpool, Central Park, Wigan, number 4, Stade Gilbert Brutus, Catalan, number 5, Thun Hall, number 6 might have been the, I've spelled that wrong, sorry, number 6, it's the Charlety Stadium in Paris, or as the French say, Stade Charlety, en Paris. Then St James's Park in Newcastle, the Willows in Salford, the Boulevard in Hull, and number 10, Old Trafford, Manchester, but we won't talk too much about that anymore. So what we'll do, we'll just have a couple of minutes, people can go have a wee, get a drink, whatever we're going to do. We're going to do some more questions about the current squad. I've just realised, did you see the question? Did you see the answers to those questions? I can't remember if you did or not, actually. I might have messed that up a little bit. Hopefully I gave those... let me just put that up again. Sorry. Let me transition that one. Let me go back to there and go back. Sorry, there's the answers to the stadium. Sorry, forgot to put that on the screen as I gave them out. There's your answers. Like I say, we're just going to have 2 or 3 minutes. Grab yourself a drink, bite to eat, Yorkshire pudding, whatever you want. I'm going to go change my top. Grab myself a beer, and then we'll come back for questions regarding the 86 Cup final, the current squad, and then we'll have a former players round, and then we'll be done. Hopefully get done by about 8 o'clock-ish. So grab yourself a quick beer, back in a second. At this point, I'd play some music, but YouTube won't allow it, so... We're back. We've got the Pro Biz on now. So I hope it's all going all right so far. Let's just have a quick look, see what's going on. So Lee Manifield has said, froze again. Froze, mate, do the grounds again. Right. Okay, so I can do that. That's not a problem. Even though you've seen the answers, Lee, I can show them again if you want. Not that it'll take too long, Lee, but never mind, as long as you're all right. Oh no, I was on a different ground, wasn't I? Start again. You've messed me up, Lee. Do you still need them? Oh, he's got them all. Good man. Right, fair enough. Mark scored 13 out of 60. No, yeah, 60. Good God. Have you got 13? I get 1 point for. So I'll just give it another minute. All the next questions are going to be about the current squad. I'm just going to give you a bit of information about the player, and you just have to guess who the player is. Quite simple, really. And I've just realised, I think I'm one shirt short. Yeah, I am. Well, no, I have got another shirt, but I can't wear it because I've put on a few pounds since last time, but I'll show it because it's a nice one. So, just a bit more Timothy Taylor's and then we'll get going. Are we liking it anyway? Are we all right so far? Are we getting on all right? That's the main thing. It's bit of 26. That's better. 13. 2 for a correct answer, Mark. If you'd have asked, I could have told you. But yeah, it looks like we've got nearly 60 people on, which is good. Ollie Mitchell, 2 points per question mark. I was going to say, I'm not too sure how we got that. But anyway, right. 26 isn't bad. Mind you, I bet you got 20 points of the stadiums, to be fair. Stadia, sorry. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to do the current Super League squad then. Right, so current Cas squad, just going to say a little bit about each player. You've got to guess who the player is. This shouldn't be too difficult, I wouldn't have thought, for many of you out there. But here we go. Question number 1. This current player kicked his only ever goal for Cas in June 2018 against Warrington Wolves. This current player kicked his only ever goal for Cas in June 2018 against Warrington Wolves. Lee, no, that spare shirt doesn't have 32 red on it. What a day yesterday should have been, eh, mate? But never mind. Our time will come. Okay, question number 2. I've gone straight to question 3. So question number 2, signed on trial in 2017. This player is the only Cas player to have scored a try in a Super League Grand Final. Sorry to mention that game, by the way, but I thought it was important that we at least mentioned it. Signed on trial in 2017, this player is the only Cas player to have scored a try in a Super League Grand Final. Number 3, joined Cas on loan in 2008 before returning to Bradford and playing for Hull KR and London Broncos before returning to Cas in 2015. Great lad. Brilliant player. Always plays above his weight, I think. Totally underrated. Anyway, right, question number 4. Son of a former Cas player from New Zealand, signed for Cas from Toulouse. Current squad player. Son of a former Cas player from New Zealand who signed for Cas from Toulouse. Okay, question number 5. If you need me to slow down, just shout slow down and I'll slow down. Question number 5. Came to Cas as part of the best swap deal in history. seeing Scott Moore leave to join Wakefield Trinity. Now, I know I've spelt Wakefield Trinity wrong there. I do apologise. I couldn't bring myself to even write it. That's probably what I'll say there. Wakefield Trinity. Apologies for that. But anyway, he came to Cas as part of the best swap deal in the history of any sport ever in the world, to see Scott Moore leaving us to join Wakefield Trinity. Question number 6. Joined in 2012 from Canterbury Bulldogs and has represented Cas over 200 times. Joined in 2012 from Canterbury Bulldogs, represented Cas over 200 times. Question number 7. I had to put this one in. The only member of the current squad born in Basingstoke, literally 5 miles from where I am right now. I'm still petitioning for a plaque. All it does around here is say the birthplace of Jane Austen, but I'm not too sure that's as important as this particular player. So we'll try and get that fixed. Just need to have a word with Hampshire County Council. We'll see how we get on. The only member of the current squad born in Basingstoke. In fact, probably the only person in Cas who was born in Basingstoke. Number 8 is his playing career goes Gold Coast Titans, Hull FC, Doncaster, Hull FC, West Tigers, Huddersfield Giants, Cas Tigers. Who is that player? Okay, question number 9. Should be relatively easy if there's any youngsters on. Might be able to get this one. Number 9, made his Cas debut in 2004 and has been named in the Super League Dream Team 3 times. Seems to be getting better as well, to be fair to him. And finally, question 10. Again, remember, they're all current players, current squad members. Question number 10. Represented Samoa in the 2014 Four Nations, joined Cas in 2017 from Cronulla Sharks. So I shall run through them quickly again. Number 1, current player kicked his only ever goal for Cas in June 2018 against Warrington. Number 2, signed on trial in 2017. This player is the only Cas player to have scored a try in the Super League Grand Final. Number 3, joined Cas on loan in 2008 before returning to Bradford and playing for Hull KR and London before returning to Cas in 2015. 4, son of a former Cas player from New Zealand, signed for Cas from Toulouse. Number 5, came to Cas as part of the best swap deal in history, seeing Scott Moore leave to join Wakefield Trinity. Number 6, joined Cas in 2012 from Canterbury Bulldogs and has represented Cas over 200 times. The only member of the current squad born in Basingstoke. Number 8, his playing career goes Gold Coast Titans, Hull FC, Doncaster, Hull FC, West Tigers, Huddersfield Giants, Cas Tigers. Number 9, made his Cas debut in 2004, has been named in the Super League Dream Team 3 times. And finally, question number 10 was represented Samoa in the 2014 Four Nations and joined Cas in 2017 from Cronulla Sharks. So I shall just give you a couple of minutes there. Uptown, what does that mean, Lee? Uptown. No idea what he's talking about there, mind you. Huddersfield fans for you. Right, I'll just give you a second. Quick shirt change. And we're back up to speed. 2020, here we are. Right, we're back up to speed. Now, we've had all the retro shirts. I've got one more shirt to show you before the final round. I can't fit in it, like I say, but we'll show it. Now, final round that we're going to do is on the 1986 Cup win. which makes sense. Like I say, seeing it's the anniversary, May the 3rd, 1986. What a day that was. If you look in the comments, you'll see that one person was there on that day. Not just there, but was actually on the pitch. So might do particularly well in this round. Good evening, Gary. So we're going to go straight into question number 1 regarding the 1986 Challenge Cup win. Nice, easy one to start for you. And that is, who won the Lance Tubb Trophy in the Cup final in 86? I reckon Lee needs to have a drink. I haven't got a clue what he's talking about here. But anyway, never mind. Doesn't matter. We're for a bit of fun. Okay. I'm sure you've all got that one. So we'll move on to question number 2. In the first round, Cas beat Hunslet 60 points to 6. At which stadium? I went to this. If Mum and Dad are watching, we went to that. Started off on the sideline, then we ended up behind the sticks, if I remember rightly. Cas beat Hunslet 60 points to 6 at which stadium? And I think, I may be wrong, people correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ian French scored 5 tries in that game. Loose forward. Number 3. Question number 3 about the 86 Challenge Cup win. Name either of the 2 Cas substitutes in the final. Kate's got a bit of beef with Gary being online, so it is a bit tough, to be fair. If you don't get 20 out of 20 in this round, Gary, there's something wrong. Although I can imagine things were probably a little bit blurred in the evening. Saying correct. Yes, Ian French did score 5 tries. I thought, right. Okay, question number 4. Which player missed a last-minute conversion to win the cup for Hull KR? Mr. Joe Cool. Well, he wasn't that night, was he? Oh, dear. Which player missed a last-minute conversion to win the cup for Hull KR? Okay, question number 5. In the run-up to the final, Cas played at the same stadium on 2 different occasions. Which stadium? In the run-up to the final, Cas played at the same stadium on 2 different occasions. Which stadium? Feeling the pressure, Gary? Okay, question number 6. Tony Marchant scored the opening try in the cup final, but whose pass put him in the clear? Who made the pass to Tony Marchant to put him in the clear? I, just like those Castleford supporters, felt that the ball should have gone to Davy Plange, but he put the bit between his teeth, and it was a try. I think I know every single second of the commentary of this game. Now, question 7, I feel a little bit of a cheat putting in, because I had no idea this was going to happen, but we'll put it in anyway. We've already mentioned Tony Marchant, but who was his centre partner? Who was Tony Marchant's centre partner? There might be some clues kicking about, I'm not too sure. Question number 8 is, who did Hull KR beat in the semi-final to get to Wembley? Gary's having a good think. Question number 9. Oh, number 9. Which youngster was the surprise inclusion at fullback for the final? Which youngster was the surprise inclusion for at fullback for the final? Had an absolute blinder as well, bless him. Didn't put a foot wrong. So we've got one more question, then we're going to do a former players picture round, and I'll just do a tie break for you if it's required. Okay, finally, question number 10. How many points did Martin Ketteridge score in the final? How many points did Martin Ketteridge score in the final? Right, so hopefully you've all answered those nicely and correctly. Like I say, if there's one person online tonight, if he doesn't get 20 out of 20, there's going to be serious problems. We're now going to do picture round of former Cas players. Very, very simple. All you have to do is name the player that's in the picture, quite obviously. Let me see if I can get to it properly. Make sure it's all there and ready to go for you guys. You have a dog called Goldie. Right, so we're going to go into the final round. Like I say, it's former players of Castleford. I'll just show the pictures. You just got to guess who the player is. And hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. So it's the person on the right as you're looking is who we're after. Question number 1. Who is that player? Okay, it's the player on the right as you're looking. Who was that player? Definite crowd pleaser, that one. Okay, question number 2. Apologies for the quality of these pictures. Thought you could get off the internet without having to pay for them. I'm not paying for them. Unless you want to sponsor me, of course. Oh, I forgot my shirt. Hold on. So that's the shirt I wanted to show you. Absolute belter. 1988-89 season. Kev Beardmore's number on. All signed. Got a load of players. Not got your name on it, Gary, but got pretty much everyone else. Pride and joy, that one. Anyway, sorry about that. Right, question 3. All former Cas players. Question 4. Got one decent season out of him. Oh, Gary, that's a good point. I've not actually. Do you know what? Gary's just said in picture 1 he thinks both the Aussie players played for Cas. I need to go back to it. I didn't actually pay attention to the one left, so I'll have a look at that in a second. But for tonight's quiz, we're looking at the one on the right, the Manly player. But thanks, Gary. I'll have a look at that in a sec. Question 5. Got that shirt on that I was just wearing. Question number 6. Not sure about anybody else, but I think this was one of the best players we've ever had at Cas overseas. Always looked a bit lazy, but God, he could play. Absolutely brilliant player. Question number 7. Always smiling. Top lad. Question 7. On to question number 8. The handsome young man. Question number 9. Sorry about the shirt in this one. And finally, question number 10. Another Manly player. Just look at him. I mean, what a player. What a player. Now, I'm going to go back to number 1 because Gary's made a comment that both players in that one played for Cas. So let me just have a quick look, see if I recognise. What? I'll be honest, I don't recognise him. St George, obviously. Possibly so, Gary. I don't recognise him. I don't know if anyone else does. Oh, Gary's put on the picture Chris Johns. Is that Chris Johns? Potentially. I'll be honest, I don't know. I couldn't picture him in that one. I shall take your... Yeah, I shall bow to your expertise on that one, I think. So, right, we'll just go through the answers. Then I'll do a quick tie break for you, and then you're all free to go and get your snap or drink or go to bed or whatever you want to do. Just give me a second. Right, come out of here. Go back into the questions, and we'll get you the answers, and then we can all be done. Right, where are we? Wait a second. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. Anyway, it's been a bit of fun. I've enjoyed putting it together. Like I say, it's been good fun putting it together. Some good reminiscing, to say the least. Right, so we will go over to the answers now. If everybody's ready for the answers, let me make sure that Gary says, yeah, he's got the shirt that he's wearing. All right, mate, you put me to shame there. Fantastic. Right, we're going to go through some answers, and then we're done. So the answers are, so the first one around the current squad. This current player kicked his only ever goal for Cas in June 2018 was Adam Milner. I think we had 2 players in the sin bin or something, or we had injuries, I can't remember it. We had a really weakened side, and Milner kicked it. Anyway, right. Signed on trial in 2017, the only Cas player to score a try in a Super League Grand Final is Alex Foster. Number 3, the joined Cas on loan in 2018 before returning to Bradford, etc., was Super Matt Cook. Super Matty Cook. Number 4, the son of a former Cas player from New Zealand who signed for Cas from Toulouse was Tyler Heppy. Heppy's going to get you, Brad's son. Number 5, came to Cas as part of the best swap deal in history. We all know that was Super Paul McShane. Number 8, joined in 2012 from Canterbury Bulldogs and represented Cas over 200 times, is probably one of our best ever imports, and that is Grant Millington. Absolutely superb player. Number 7, the only member of the current squad, born in Basingstoke, Mike McMeekin. Like I say, we'll have him on the town signs soon. Number 8, Gold Coast Titans, Hull FC, Doncaster, Hull FC, West Tigers, Huddersfield Giants, Cas Tigers, Jordan Rankin. Number 9, made his Cas debut in 2004, named in Super League Dream Team 3 times, was Super Michael Shenton. Like I say, getting better with age. And represented Samoa in the 2014 Four Nations, joined Cas in 2017, was Jesse Senilafeo. Then we went into the 1986 Challenge Cup win round. Question number 1, Lance Todd Trophy winner was Bob Beardmore. So just making sure there's no comments, everyone's catching up okay. Yeah. Bob Beardmore. First round Cas beat Hunslet 60 points to 6 at Ellen Road. Number 3, either of the Cas substitutes in the 86 Cup final was Stuart Horton or David Ruckley. And as you can see, David Ruckley's decided to change his name to David Ruckley, but we'll leave it as it is for now. Question number 4, which player missed a last-minute conversion to win the Cup for Hull KR was John Dorahy. Went on to coach Wigan. Didn't do very well there. Anyway, number 5, in the run to the Cup final, we played at the same stadium on 2 different occasions. Which one was it? That was Central Park. So we beat Wigan in the 3rd round, I think, and then obviously Oldham in the semi-final at Central Park as well. So Central Park, Wigan. Number 6, Tony Marchant scored the opening try, but who gave the beautiful pass? That was Kevin Ward. We've already mentioned Tony Marchant, but who was his centre partner? I can assure you this quiz was written well before I knew he was going to be on here. Gary Hyde. I'll give a round of applause to Gary. Thanks for coming, Gary. Number 8, who did Hull KR beat in the semi-final to get to Wembley? That was Leeds. Which youngster was a surprise inclusion at fullback in the final was Gary Lord. Like I say, absolutely superbly for us. And finally, number 10, how many points did Martin Ketteridge score in the final? He scored 2 points. Okay, so finally, all we've got is the answers to the picture round of players. And they are all there. So we've got Ronnie Gibbs, Luke Gale, Danny Ward, Bob Lindner, Darryl Clark, Richie Blackmore, Dean Widders, Lee Crooks, Alan Hardesty, and Kevin Ward. Some absolute belters there, to say the very, very least. So what I'm going to do is I have got a tie-break question if you need it, if you're playing in pairs or whatever, sorry, playing in teams against each other or something like that. So I'll just stick this one on here. So the tie-break question is, what was the attendance at the 1986 Cup final? Okay, so we're going to say whoever gets nearest to that is going to win. I just have a little think about that if there is anybody in the tie-break. I just want to say thanks for coming. It looks as though we've had about 60-odd people online at some point, which is really good, really bit of fun. Like I said, I completely messed up at the beginning, so I've had to change the link. So the fact that we got so many on was good. I had a right bit of a laugh doing it, putting it together. I hope you had fun. If you did have fun, please just let me know. You've all known me on Twitter and what have you. Just let me know. Happy to do it again at some point if people think it's a good thing to do while we're in lockdown. Because I don't know about you, but God, I'm missing the rugby. And while I've been doing the research into some of these questions, makes you realise just how much you do miss it. But let's go into the tie-break question then. What was the attendance? So who got the closest? And the actual attendance was 82,134. So that's it. So just want to thank you. Like I say, thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bit of fun, bit of a laugh, something to do on a Sunday. It's 8 o'clock, so I've still got time to go watch Midsummer Murders or whatever you watch on a Sunday night. But like I say, thanks ever so much for coming on. Stay safe, everybody. And if you do fancy me doing it again, I'll gladly do it again in a couple of weeks' time. Just drop us a message and we'll put something together. But other than that, look after yourselves, take care, and we'll see you down at Cas as soon as we possibly can. Take care, folks.